Alysa Liu speaks out on Eileen Gu's decision to compete for China over U.S. and political backlash. U.S. Olympic figure skating sensation weighed in on the controversy surrounding American-born Team China skier Eileen Gu for choosing to represent China instead of the U.S. Liu gave her thoughts and background with Gu during an interview with the New York Times. "I've known Eileen since I was 13 or something. We're from the Bay Area. She's super nice, and her mom is from China. I think people are hypocritical for shaming her for representing China. So, in my head, it's a bit hypocritical, because her mom is an immigrant. You would have told her to go back to China. Now that they are back in China, you're mad," Liu said. "And it's sport. It doesn't matter what country we represent. Sport is sport, and she has a love for competition. She has love for the game. I think that's all that matters. There's no shame in going to where opportunity is." Gu was a target for global criticism during the Milan-Cortina Winter Olympics, as she won 2 silvers and 1 gold in free skiing. Vice President J.D. Vance even weighed in on Gu's decision during an interview on Fox News when the Olympics was going on. "I have no idea what her status should be. I think that's ultimately up to the Olympics Committee. I won't pretend to wade into that," Vance said. "I certainly think that someone who grew up in the United States of America who benefited from our education system, from the freedoms and liberties that makes this country a great place, I would hope they want to compete with the United States of America. So, I'm going to root for American athletes. I think part of that is people who identify themselves as Americans. That's who I'm rooting for in this Olympics." Gu later responded to Vance's comment, and went on to agree that she feels like a punching bag for a certain strand of American politics. "I'm flattered. Thanks, JD. That's sweet," Gu said of Vance's comments, per USA Today. "So many athletes compete for a different country. People only have a problem with me doing it because they kind of lump China into this monolithic entity, and they just hate China. So it's not really about what they think it's about. And also, because I win. Like if I wasn't doing well, I think that they probably wouldn't care as much, and that's okay for me. People are entitled to their opinions." Throughout the Olympics, and especially after Liu made history as the first American to win Olympic gold in a women's individual figure skating competition since 2002 and the first American woman to medal at all in the event since 2006, the two athletes were relentlessly compared on social media for their similar backgrounds as American children of Chinese immigrants. Liu's father, Alysa Liu, fled China after participating in the Tiananmen Square protests in the summer of 1989. Coming to America and having Alysa through a surrogate and anonymous egg donor. Meanwhile, Gu's mother, Yang Jiu, was a student at Peking University studying chemistry and biochemistry, according to the New York Times. She came to the United States to earn a master's degree, eventually owning it from Stanford. At age 40, Yang gave birth to Eileen and raised her as a single parent, according to Olympics.com. Not much is known about Gu's father. Eileen has not publicly commented on him and declined to answer questions about him with the New York Times. Then around 2018 to 2022, China accelerated a program aimed at recruiting foreign-born athletes, primarily with Chinese heritage, to boost competitiveness, notably for the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics and soccer, according to the China Project. Gu and Liu were top recruiting targets. Gu traded in her red, white and blue for red and gold. Just months after competing in her first Freestyle Ski World Cup for the U.S. in January 2019, she competed for China for the first time in June of that year after requesting a change of nation with the International Ski Federation. In an announcement on Instagram, she said she made the decision to help inspire millions of young people in China and to unite people, promote common understanding, create communication, and forge friendships between nations. The Lius remained loyal to Team USA. Arthur was reportedly not open to persuasion to having Alysa compete for China, according to The Economist. In an interview with Time magazine, Gu was asked her thoughts on China's alleged persecution of Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslim minorities in Xinjiang. "I haven't done the research. I don't think it's my business. I'm not going to make big claims on my social media," Gu answered. "I'm just more of a skeptic when it comes to data in general. So it's not like I can read an article and be like, oh, well, this must be the truth. I need to have a ton of evidence. I need to maybe go to the place, maybe talk to 10 primary source people who are on a location and have experienced life there. Then I need to go see images. I need to listen to recordings. I need to think about how history affects it. Then I need to read books on how politics affects it. This is a lifelong search. It's irresponsible to ask me to be the mouthpiece for any agenda. Liu and her family, on the other hand, found themselves in the crosshairs of China's government ahead of the 2022 Beijing Games amid her father's past and her own refusal to compete for China. Before her appearance in the 2022 Beijing Games, she and her father were the alleged targets of a spying operation by the Chinese government. Liu called the experience a little bit freaky and exciting. You know what I mean. It's so unbelievable. You know what I mean, like, that's crazy. Liu previously told Fox News Digital at a roundtable interview at the USOP Media Summit in October. Alysa Liu speaks out on Eileen Gu's decision to compete for China over the U.S. and the political storm that followed. In the modern era of global sports, the Olympic arena is no longer just about medals, records, and national pride. It has become a stage where identity, culture, politics, and personal freedom collide. Few stories illustrate this better than the intertwined journeys of two remarkable athletes, Alysa Liu and Eileen Gu. Both were born and raised in California. Both are half Chinese Americans. Both became global sports icons before turning 25. Yet their choices about which flag to represent placed them on opposite sides of one of the world's most intense geopolitical rivalries, the United States and China. When freestyle skier Eileen Gu chose to compete for China instead of the United States, the decision triggered a political and cultural firestorm. But amid the debate, figure skating champion Alysa Liu offered a perspective that cut through the noise, one rooted not in politics, but in shared identity and empathy. Her response revealed something deeper than sports rivalry. It revealed the complicated reality of being caught between two worlds. Two athletes, two paths. At first glance, Alysa Liu and Eileen Gu appear almost like mirror images. They grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, raised in multicultural households that blended American life with Chinese heritage. Both were prodigies in their sports. Both achieved international fame as teenagers. But when the moment came to represent a nation, their paths diverged.